Hello witches, welcome back to the channel. This is Hectarios. This is going to be our weekly reading for November 4th through the 10th, 2018. So first, I will show y'all the Witch's Almanac for this week. And we can see that the dark moon, new moon energy dominates this week. And we can also see that Hecate night is coming up next Friday. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I won't be surprised if the dark moon, new moon energy dominates this reading as well. What I typically do on the dark moons is cleansing work. I do a Hecate's Dipnon, where I give her a offering and I ask her to remove and banish and destroy and get rid of any negative energy, influence, spirits or people or situations in my life, and just remove that and cleanse it away. So I do that once a month on the dark moons, of course. But why I bring that up is because psychically and energetically what I'm feeling with this dark moon in particular is that it is extremely extra potent for that kind of work. I feel like the energies with this dark moon are very active. And I feel like it's going to be swift how this cleansing happens. Let me see here for a second. I'm trying to look at the astrology of this dark moon. So here we go, November 7th. This is the star chart app, by the way. You can see that the dark moon, new moon is occurring in Libra, and that Jupiter is also present. So that makes sense to me of why I'm feeling the more energized, more active form of this dark moon energy is because Jupiter is present and it's in Libra. So Jupiter expands the energies of the other planets that it's around and whatever influence that they're exerting at the time, whatever constellation it's in. So Jupiter, oh my gosh, here we go with the raspy voice again. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. So Jupiter, once again, it expands and amplifies the energies. It brings more energy to the energies. So what we have with this dark moon happening in Libra, Libra is all about balance. It's all about justice. It's all about, karma. And I feel like it's also a very active energy. It's swift justice. It's, it brings closure to these karmic things. And Libra is also connected with relationships. So I feel like this in particular will be manifested in our relationships with people. So once again, to tie that to the Hecate's Dipnon cleansing ritual that I always do, I do always ask for the removal of negative people as well as energies, influences, spirits, and all of that stuff. And situations, like negative situations that pop up in relationships, toxic relationships, and things like that. So I feel like that might be in focus with this dark moon. I think that many of us will see changes in toxic situations with other people. I'll say it like that. And just keep in mind that this will manifest slightly different for everyone because this is a general reading and I'm just reading the energies and you have to apply it where it fits in your life. Okay? So that's all for that section. Now let's get into the tarot cards and the tarot reading. Let me move this down a little bit. Okay. This is a Lumina Tarot, in case you want to know. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit Hecate. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you, and so mote it be. Please give us your divine guidance for this week and for this dark moon and new moon, so that we can use these energies for our highest good, greatest success, and joy. Thank you, and so mote it be. Okay. So, interesting. We have 2 major arcana on either side and just a regular lesser arcana in the middle. So actually, let me move this a little bit more. Okay. So we have the Hierophant, the 9 of Swords, and the Fool. First is the Hierophant, or the High Priest. And this is an energy going into the week, sort of I feel it sort of represents stress in relationships. I feel like it's referring to the status quo, the way that things sort of are and have been in regards to our relations to others, a feeling of hierarchy, and structure, sort of the established way or the established order of how things are, and there is an underlying negative structure to that. There's an underlying negative, toxic type order to those dynamics. And I feel like this causes a lot of stress for many of us. I feel like there's a sense of fear involved, or a sense of intimidation involved with taking this on and dealing with it and bringing about the changes, for the better. There might be a sense of intimidation with it because, a lot of times when we're in toxic relationships or toxic situations, when we speak up for ourselves, when we stand up for ourselves and, be the voice and the energy and the catalyst for positive change, those negative relationships and people will then turn around and act like we are doing something wrong, and they will attack us simply for standing up for ourselves. And so there is a factor of intimidation and fear of changing the status quo. And, you know, what is the word? I have to sip my coffee for a second here. So that's why I'm going to pause for a second. So I feel like that is largely what this reading is about. I knew that that was going to come up when I mentioned the dark moon and all of that at the beginning. I feel like, now this might not be in every single area and aspect of your life, but in some area, in some aspect, in some relationships that have been ongoing in a toxic manner, this has been causing a lot of stress and a lot of, you know, I feel also going back and forth with things, like taking steps forward and then backstepping. Advancing towards a positive outcome and then backstepping into the negative patterns and habits again and situations again with these people. So that seems to be in focus with this reading in particular. So that will be important this week. Okay, the next card, the Nine of Swords. Once again, this is that stress energy. This is the energy of nightmares, fears and anxieties, worries, which can lead to insomnia and not sleeping at night, or having nightmares and not sleeping for that reason, or waking up a lot. And so this, usually what I say with this card is that this is a misuse of mental energy. Using your energy, focusing it on fear and worry rather than on, you know, creating solutions. Having fears and worries does nothing for us other than, you know, to continue to make us feel anxiety, more worries, leads to, you know, not resting, not getting your R&R in. It can also lead to physical illness and sickness if left unchecked. So that is what I usually say with this card. That's what one of the meanings of this card is. But in this reading, I feel like this is something that you kind of really can't avoid, because it is tied to this karmic relationships situation. So it's not something that you have been able to fix. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I feel like this is something maybe you have tried to fix several times, but you've come back under that attack. Like I said with this card, speaking up for yourself, trying to cause changes has brought you under more attack and more stress in the end. Or once again with that backpedaling thing, maybe it gives you some progress, but it keeps backpedaling to the same type of scenario and situation again. So whatever this is, you know, this negative mental energy, it's not your own negativity. It's the fact that this shit keeps going on, basically. So, with that said, still make sure that you are incorporating positive things into your life and applying your mental energy in other areas that you can make positive changes at this time. Don't focus on the problems, even though, I mean, they're like a freaking monkey wrench that's just right there in the middle of everything. Don't put your focus on that. Focus all of your mental energy on, you know, positive things that you can do right now, despite all the negativity and these toxic relationships. And fixate your energies on that. And for the final card, we have the Fool, which is a new beginning. Starting fresh. having faith and hope and trust in the universe to help you and to open new paths for you to move forward. I love the imagery of this card. So, positive changes are coming in regards to this situation. And once again, I'm going to say it's because of this dark moon in particular being, in Libra, which is the source of justice and karmic energy, and being in relationships, and Jupiter being there, which is expanding and amplifying those energies even stronger. I feel like this severe negative energy is going to come to an end in its own natural timing. And it's not necessarily so much based on your own actions or you even speaking up for yourself. There's an underlying karmic thing going on here that you're not really even in control of. And that's why the backward and forward, thing with this energy, it's not something that you can just change on your own. There's a karmic reason why it's happening, and it needs to run its course. And that doesn't mean that it's positive or that you have to like it. It can still be a very negative thing, but you sort of just have to roll with the punches with the situation. However, with this dark moon, it seems like it is coming to an end finally, and you will get a fresh start, a clean slate, and a new beginning with these energies, or being free of these energies, I should say, and being free of these situations for good, or once and for all. And that's beautiful. This is the release of heavy burdens that have been on our soul and oppressive forces that have been on our soul. And once again, this is just a general reading. This could also be manifested in, a lot of different situations like work or even just spiritually. It doesn't have to necessarily be toxic relationships that you're engaged with or, things like that. It could just be energies and forces in your life and situations in your life as well. But I feel like it is tied in to toxic relationships to some degree, if not solely, for most of us. So I'll say it like that. So yes, this dark moon seems to be the closing of this karmic chapter and opening the door, from that. This total cleansing and release and renewal and a new beginning for you energetically, in relationships, spiritually, emotionally, and all of that. So I would say this dark moon in particular, if you want to do a ritual or any kind of magical thing, I would say do cleansing baths, do meditations focused on release and renewal and regeneration and letting go and burying the past. Do that type of magical intentions and energy work. And if you do a Hecate's Daimon like I do every dark moon, then focus it on that as well, and letting go and releasing the past. And the universe looks like it's going to be taking care of a lot of this for us as well. So that's all for this reading. Thank you for watching. If you would like to get in touch with me for your own private reading, for custom spell work, or any kind of handmade magical item, or to join my paid membership Facebook teaching group, contact me through the messages below in the description box, through Facebook, email, or Instagram, and we can discuss all of that. That's going to be all for this video. Hail to the witches, hail Hecate, and blessed be.